The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in. Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, gut out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
I'm Matt Kibbe, the current student body president here at Adrian College. I chose AC because the campus simply feels like home. Everywhere I go, I know the amenities are there to help me succeed and get to the next level in my career. If you want to see what Adrian College has to offer, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College has dozens of athletics programs, and winning is a staple on our campus. We have the culture of winning in and out of the classroom. This is a place where young men and women grow into professionals for life. Are you interested in learning more about the Bulldog experience? Visit adrianbulldogs.com and the Recruit Me tab to be recruited to play your sport of choice today. If you have what it takes, you could be a Bulldog in no time.
Adrian College Television would like to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Carlton Lodge of Adrian. Carlton Lodge is sponsoring all ACTV broadcasts during the 2021 to 2022 school year. Located at 1629 West Maumee in Adrian, Carlton Lodge offers comfortable rooms and suites at affordable rates. There's also a heated indoor and outdoor pool, along with a 24-hour fitness center. Thank you for the continued support toward Adrian College Television.
Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, gut out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Adrian College has once again been recognized for its commitment to engaged, experiential education by Colleges of Distinction, a one-of-a-kind guide for college-bound students. While higher education has changed over the past 20 years, Colleges of Distinction's selection process has stayed consistent in accepting only those that adhere to the 4 distinctions: engaged students, great teaching, vibrant community, and successful outcomes. Overlaid in the last few years have been a look into high-impact practices. They believe most critical to the student experience were the kinds of engaging experience that are found at Adrian College. To learn more, please visit adrian.edu.
April 6, 2021, I was sitting in my office and an email popped into my inbox from someone in your graduating class today. The email said, "Dear President Docking, back in August I had emailed you in regards to the state of the well-being of the campus community during the COVID spike. At that time, I was incredibly anxious about the prospect of spending my senior year of college sitting at my kitchen table in my hometown trying to finish my seminar projects in the event we switched to all online learning. As I type this email now in April, I cannot describe to you the gratitude that my fellow students and I have for Adrian remaining open on campus for the duration of the school year. I wanted to take the time to thank the Adrian College community, the faculty, the staff, for allowing us to have as normal of a year as possible in a world that simply did not want that to happen. I look forward to walking across the stage in May knowing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here at Arrington Ice Arena as we get set to drop the puck for tonight's ACHA Division I matchup between the visiting Stony Brook University Seawolves and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Hello everyone, my name is Alex Herman, happy to be joined alongside by Calvin Keys for what should be an absolutely amazing night of ACHA hockey. Now Calvin, these two teams have quite the history between themselves. They played each other twice last season here at Arrington Ice Arena. Tell us a little bit about that.
Now, Alex, if two nationally ranked opponents going head-to-head didn't give this game enough magnitude, there's a little bit more behind this one. Last season, Stony Brook came here to take on the Bulldogs in a back-to-back and swept them by scores of 3-2 and 5-2. Talking to several players on the Bulldog team this week, they want payback.
We are underway. Puck is dropped, and off to the races we go. Face-off is won back easily by the Bulldogs. As here's Spate with an early shot, and it's kept out. The first stop of the evening. This is moved up ice. Settled down by Dida. Turned over. Smith is on the right side, looking for an angle. Faking the wraparound. Puck is in the slot, looking for Spate, but it was broken up. Gajewski turned and fired a shot on net. Looking for the tip there. This is in between the hash marks. Bulldogs coming out with quite some speed to open up the first couple of seconds.
Yeah, Matvey Kazakov, the Stony Brook netminder, tested early. One of the top goaltenders in the ACHA. They're going to need him to be on his game tonight.
Very heavy goaltending matchup. As this chance coming over, Kazakov with the left pad stop keeps that chance out. And another chance, but they score! It's Connor Smith. Opens up the scoring under a minute into the first period, and the Dogs lead by 1.
Take another look at this play. It's sent up for DiGiulio. We've seen his playmaking on display in the past couple of weeks. Good chance in front. Kazakov able to make the stop, and then just a shot from a tough angle. Maybe surprised the goaltender a little bit there, and it snuck in to give Connor Smith the first goal of this hockey game.
Well, wild opening to this first period. We have Bulldogs already leading by a tally. Like you said, I think that shot really did surprise Kazakov there. He was on the angle, but kind of second-guessing his decision to go down in the butterfly position. Hit off of the inside of that pad and then obviously found the back of the net.
Well, I'll tell you what, Alex. On the big stage, you want your key players to shine bright. Connor Smith, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, 41 points and 25 goals on the season now in just his 23rd game.
Things tie up under the red. Puck sent up top for Mott. This shot was taken on. Another squeaker pinballed wide at Kazakov. So I was starting to say earlier, a goaltending matchup certainly to watch. Noah DeContier and Kazakov as well, two of the top netminders here in the Division I of ACHA. Be very interesting to see how this game progresses for these two goalies.
And I think it's already pretty evident the fire that Adrian has in their belly coming out of the gate here. They get the first 3 shots and really pouring the pressure on. This is a meaningful weekend for them.
Here's McLaughlin up top. A shot on, it's swallowed up. And it looked like going down in some pain was Mateo Dida. Might have gotten hit awkwardly off the knee with the shot.
Yeah, I hope Dida's all right. That was a forceful collision. I think it may have even been Michael Conlon, and tough to tell. It happened so quickly. But he got that contact right to the head area, so he's got to be a bit shaken up. And for Jamer, we love his physical presence he brings, but you have to really toe that line and be careful because we're going to need him tonight.
There's another shot kept out by Kazakov, a quick one straight off of the draw. Game plan certainly has to be for the Bulldogs. Fire on all cylinders and come out with as much speed as possible. Obviously, the Bulldogs playing a little bit different of a schedule that Stony Brook is able to. Stony Brook getting much more travel in between the conferences. So they've seen a couple of tougher opponents than the Bulldogs have. This has been their first real test in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, Stony Brook has been tested a lot in the past couple of weeks, as you said, Alex, but they've really come up strong. 3 straight wins, including one on the road at Ohio
Here's
recently.
Thornton walking in, faking, trying to slide over, but couldn't find somebody to catch the pass. Fife in the right corner, lost control of it. With it now was Boris. Turned it over for Fife as he chops one up. Bond gets it up top, fires a slap shot in between the paint, and then it's cleared out. Seawolves will elect to dump all the way down, giving the Bulldogs time to recollect. Clement, left side, shoved off the puck easily. Came off the hands of Jesse Edwards. There's a shot wide, tipped, and it wouldn't go. Another great shot. Bulldogs on the doorstep, and a second attempt swallowed up by Kazakov.
Bulldogs peppering the Stony Brook goaltender early on here. I think that's a big whistle. Obviously, play still in their own zone, but a chance to kind of get settled down and get themselves settled into this game.
Draws tied up and then one back. Turnover on possession, wrapping around. That was Smith. Couldn't get the pass off that he was looking for, so we'll continue on as Spate gets tied up on the far side with Malfetto. Neutral ice. That pass was turned over. With it is Kent. Looks towards the net. Circles around. Now in the slot. Towards the feet. A loose puck and a scramble. Change of possession. The other way come the Seawolves. They're able to dump it in off of the stick of Kazeki.
That one was definitely close to being icing. I thought they shot it in from behind center ice, but the referee says no. And a penalty upcoming to Stony Brook here. I think too many men is what the referee is signaling for.
That was an awkward play. Both benches were shouting, I think, for a penalty somehow.
Yeah, tough to tell.
Yeah, definitely some confusion there from both sides. The box is open for the Seawolves, so I think they're going to get a man sent off, and too many men is the call.
I think Sean Rainville is going to serve the penalty for the Seawolves, and if Adrian didn't have enough momentum in the early stages, first 4 minutes of the game, now they're going to get a chance on the man advantage.
So a 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. 15:42 left to go in the first. Bulldogs lead by 1. Nolan, a D-to-D pass, sends it down low. Stopping hard on the puck there was Thornton. Gets shoved off for a second as Spate will get a give and go down low with Smith. Up top for Gajewski. Back over for Nolan. Waits and finds a pass. Gets it in Smith. Right back, Nolan a give and go to Smith. This is put on, and it's tipped aside. Gajewski to Nolan. Right side is Smith. A tip. That goes high over the crossbar and under the goal line. Thornton gets tripped up. No call. Chance for Stony Brook to clear, and they're able to. Nolan got a piece of it as the Cottonier will send a long pass up for Thornton as the Bulldogs were caught in a change. Brody Thornton will skate off. Extra man out. Dakota Bond followed up by Stanko at the point. Stanko circles off and walks the blue. Diddy pass for Fife. Looking towards the net, a horizontal shot. Nobody there to touch up potentially for the one-timer. Smith to Fife. Shooting on! Loose in front. Finally, it's cleared. Bulldogs still with possession. Smith will drop low to get there and finally sent the length of the ice. Stony Brook can clear.
Well, Adrian was able to establish some zone presence there on this power play so far. Stony Brook doing a good job of communicating and keeping him to the outside.
Here's the Julio. Walks the outside. Shoved off the puck with some force. And a change of possession. This goes to Fess as he's able to lob it down. DeContier out of the blue paint, stopping it gingerly on the backhand. We'll leave it for Dakota Bond. 10 seconds left to go in the 5-on-4, and then we'll return to even strength 5-on-5. Adrian not able to get anything to happen on their power play attempt. So we're back to even strength now. Mott using his size to try and play the body. Able to break things up momentarily and rims it around the left wall. Goes up top for Fess. Glove down out of the air by Kormalik. And a big hit there in open ice. Jamer, right side, squeaks by just barely. Tied up under the red. Here's a shot and holding the post well. Kazakov with the stop. 8 shots so far for the Bulldogs, none for the Seawolves. 1-0 is the score here, 13-13 left to go in the first period. Alex Herman and Calvin Keys here on ACTV.
Matvey Kazakov, junior goaltender from Sarov, Russia, has been busy for Stony Brook so far, making the first 8 saves of this hockey game. No shots for Stony Brook yet. Kazakov coming into this one with a 2.66 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. Pretty phenomenal stats there.
Great stat line for the Stony Brook netminder. Here's a puck coming over! Tyler Fife, how do you do? The Bulldogs lead by a pair.
Let's have another look at this one. It was a errant rink-wide pass from Stony Brook that set this up. Speeding into the zone was Cameron Armstrong, and just great vision to pick up Fife on the back door, and he did the rest.
Wow, that was a fantastic play. Quick transition, exactly the way that you have to be careful of when you're playing this Adrian squad. They have so much talent on their roster, and everybody on every line really can go, and great example there. Tyler Fife with the Barry Dogs up by 2. And here's another chance as Armstrong will break in. Fires on, blocker Sayad by Kazakov. Here's Clement, all alone. Down Main Street, gets taken out. And comes in contact with the post, knocking it off the pegs.
Always a scary situation when a player goes down, driving hard to the net like that. Saw him slide into the goal. Luckily, Kazakov was able to get out of the way. Another thing I'd like to point out, shots are 10-0 Adrian with 12:28 to go in the first period. What a start this has been for the Bulldogs.
This is exactly what you want if you're Coach Gary Estalos. Obviously, with the result that they had last year, they dropped these 2 games at home to Stony Brook. They want to reverse the result. They have some unfinished business, and especially in the playoffs too. They're really looking to rewrite the script. They're doing a great job, but Pepe gets a lone breakaway, spins off, and a nice step-up hit there by Dylan Kent to break up the shot attempt.
As the goal from Cameron.
Gajewski will grab in the slot and ringing the iron, and it goes into the upright. Oh, wow, what a chance there for Gajewski.
Great to see Dylan Gajewski back in the lineup after he was out for a solid chunk of the season. Coming back, this is, I believe, just his 3rd game back from a collarbone injury. He's a smaller guy, but he plays so physical. You wonder if Coach Estalos is saying to maybe ease off that side of his game a little bit more and focusing on the scoring aspect, what with the history of collarbone injuries he has.
That wraparound shot was taken by Stanko, and the rebound found its way up top to the blue where McLaughlin was standing. Dumped in, coming the other way to the Seawolves. This is wrapped around hard. DeContier will stop. Fires it to the outside glass as it wraps around. Good keep in by Rainville. This is down low, a hack coming down from the stick of Jesse Edwards. As now up top is Boris. Gets it low, Mott. Rimming it around. Stanko is wide and gives a one-touch for DeGiulio. Smith trying to come in to help for support. A bouncer finds its way again to DeGiulio. Trying to cut in. It was jackknifed away. Mott to Nolan with a lane. Fires in front. Loose puck. And the rebound couldn't be put away. Mott with a stutter step. Back to Nolan. Down low, a one-touch was taken away and chipped off the high glass from the stick of Kozicki. Nolan to Stanko. A quick backhander was broken up momentarily and finally sent in. Jamer with some time and space. Down low under the red, tries to go inside and out to get around his defender. With it now is Tazera. Wrapped up top, sent the length of the ice. Arm is up, and the whistle will be blown for the icing.
Long trip to get here tonight to play at the Arrington for the Stony Brook Seawolves. Pretty close to your hometown of New Rochelle over on Long Island. It's about a 10-hour drive. You wonder if maybe some heavy legs playing a factor. It can definitely be draining those long bus rides.
It's never easy when you have to travel that far and then play in the same day. I was talking with backup goaltender for this evening, Thomas Sullivan, before the game, talking about just sleeping on the bus and kind of arriving and really teleporting, skipping some time of the day. But it's always interesting to see how those outside factors in to when you're playing on the road versus when you have the home ice advantage.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. In the NHL, they talk about home ice advantage, even more so in the ACHA. What with the difference in the travel conditions.
Hatcher tips in, gets shoved off, good body contact there. A stretch pass. There to meet it is Pepe. Taken away easily as the Bulldogs look to clear the zone. And it tips off the inside glass right in front of the bench where equipment manager Tyler LaFollette for the Bulldogs was standing. Thankfully got out of the way just in time.
Yeah, I think for the equipment manager LaFollette, those quick reflexes he uses to grab those sticks for the players, that also translates to being able to dodge errant pucks flying in the air. It just comes with the territory.
Great member of this Adrian staff and roster. An important member of the team, utilized quite often, very well liked by everybody here around campus, including myself.
That guy wears a lot of hats for this team. You talk about one of the biggest unsung heroes in college hockey. Got to be the equipment manager, and Tyler LaFollette has to be one of the best in the league.
Also could be one of the best ACHA golfers in the league. Little known fact there.
Well, I can't attest to that, man. I have to hit the links with him this summer to find out.
Here's a spinning pass. Clement. Fire, score! Ethan Clement lights the lamp for the third time this evening. And the Bulldogs are up by 3 with 8:57 left to go.
It's just a textbook breakout. Transition from defense to offense. It's thread through for Clement. And then a little bit of deception, was waiting to see if he had a passing option. Ripped one quick. Kazakov unprepared. Used the defender well as a screen there as he fires it home.
That was really such an innocent play, too. And Clement hid the fact that he was going to try and shoot so well. Just a great high hockey IQ play, Ethan Clement. And here's another chance as this is lobbed for Fife. On the breakaway, he scores! Back to back in under 15 seconds. The Dogs are rolling.
My goodness. How about this pass? It was chipped high in the air. Tough to tell who that was. It was sent all the way down. Fife races after it, gets there first, and it looks like Stony Brook's head coach Chris Garofalo is going to call a timeout as the Seawolves are reeling, being outshot 14-0 and down 4-0 here, just over 11 minutes into the hockey game.
Just like that, timeout for the Seawolves. Alex Herman and Calvin Keys here on ACTV will return in just a second.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
Just like that, we're back. Continuing play here at Arrington Ice Arena. The recent goal put the Bulldogs up 4-0. Absolutely commanding this game. A surprising shock for many. We thought this was going to be a lot closer contested at this point in the game than it is right now. And it's been nothing but black and gold in the offensive zone. And not a lot the other way.
Yeah, I think for Chris Garofalo and his team, obviously facing a big hole now, down 4-0, but still a lot of hockey left to be played. I think if you get back to basics, pressure the puck hard, make good tape-to-tape passes out of your own zone, a lot of time left and can't get down on themselves yet. A lot of hockey still to be played.
At this point, like you said, I think it's very important to just keep a strong mental focus. Got to stay sharp, as you said, Calvin. A lot of time and a lot of hockey left. So I'm very interested to see how things progress throughout the rest of the course of the contest.
As the great Ted Lasso once said, you got to have the memory of a goldfish if you want to succeed. Both in soccer and in hockey, you got to have a next shift mentality. What's happened has happened. Now you got to move forward.
Here's Spate breaking free. Lost control of it. Trying to glove it down out of the air was Mateo Dida. DeContier spinning and wrapping around. It'll be sent back down low for Dylan Kent. He'll stop and rally the troops, calling a shot. Connects with Stanko. Dumps in, easy stick stop for Kazakov. In the slot, here's Smith through the legs, and what a save by Kazakov! Stretching out the blocker side bad.
My goodness. Kazakov robs Connor Smith of what would have been a highlight reel goal. Played the puck between his legs, but we see the athleticism of the Russian there with that stop.
That was a high skill stick handling move and a high skill stop from both sides. Good hockey all around. This is the other way. Kent couldn't keep it in. Bond will have to race back in time to stop the 2-on-1, and he does. On possession is Boris. DDD pass. Sent sideways as the Bulldogs now control. Here's Kent from his own blue, had it stripped away for a second. DeGiulio, a blind pass to Stanko. Somehow finds his stick. The lefty will dump it in. And a nice hit under the red by Smith. Other way, here's Kormanek. Hit off the back glass and a bouncer. As this shot was sent on. Hit off the skate in front. I don't think DeContier even touched it. So icing is waved off.
I love the idea there, though, from DiStefano on the shot from the point. That's what you have to do to beat DeContier.
This is moved over. A chance, and stopped by DeContier. A great save. And there's going to be a penalty called on the play against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looked like Devin Pepe was given a pretty rough ride there by Justin Jamer as he was back checking. We'll see what the call is as the referee comes to center ice.
Slash and call. I would have set a trip on that, but that does the trick anyway. So the first power play opportunity, very key here for the Seawolves. They'll go up 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes with 5:56 left to go in the first frame. This is Backhanded off the face-off circle. DeContier extends the paddle out, and it's kept in at the blue by Tezera. Malfetto walks the blue, sends it the other way. A slap shot goes wide to the glove side. A give and go. Malfetto tried to shoot it and gloved it down, but it just squeaks over the blue. Spate with good pressure. Pepe lost it in his feet. Malfetto extends the stick to keep it in. Dropped back. Tezera. Down low, good cycle. One shot so far on the power play for the Seawolves. This was wristed on, but it was wide. Thornton with a slap shot that he's able to clear.
You know, as Stony Brook goes on the power play after the slashing penalty from Justin Jamer, there's obviously no such thing as a good penalty, but Jamer broke up a promising 2-on-1 scoring chance, so it's not a terrible penalty to take.
Definitely agree with that. Those are one of those desperation plays, as there was a nice dipsy-do move. This is sent down low. Being pressed by the Cesare, sent hard into the boards, but just before that, able to clear the zone. 33 seconds left to go on the 5-on-4 for Stony Brook.
Michael Conlon was on the receiving end of a hit from Jamer right off the hop. That time he lowers the shoulder onto Cesare, making his presence known.
Here's Barnich over the blue. Quickly stripped away from him. Cleared once again. Conlon with little time remaining on the 5-on-4. Cormanick, a nice move to Malik. Breaks in, and a save to Contier. Loose puck was finally cleared out. We're back to 5-on-5 with 3:48 left to go in the first. Fife has plenty of time. Lofts one through neutral ice. Jamer was getting off the ice, so not there to catch the pass. DeContier, once again, easy paddle while he held the post. And here's McLaughlin, a backhander to Fife in the skates of Clement. Chopped out and then sent quickly back in by Thornton. Galinsky. Now the other way, Nolan with some time and space. Slows down and then sends it in. This will travel towards the near side. That being where the crowd is here at Arrington Ice Arena. A bouncer sent on net. DeContier will set out the bear paw and sit on top of that for the whistle.
You know, a positive for Stony Brook so far in this hockey game, even though they are 4-0 down. In the past couple of minutes, I really like the way that their defense is engaging. Their activity's been really good. I think to beat a goaltender of DeContier's quality, you got to get bodies in front, you got to get redirects on the puck, and that's what Stony Brook is looking to try and do here for the past few plays or so.
Gajewski. A give and go with Thornton. It was momentarily broken up. Smith able to clear off the high glass. Gajewski with pressure. Glove down and kept in by DiGiulio. Gajewski far side. Puts it over. Thornton keeps it in. Shot on. Kazakov didn't have the sight of vision he needed. Luckily for him, didn't reach the net. Back with it is Boris. Starts his approach and sends a puck up. Hit off the skate of Pepe. Excuse me, that was Dempsey that hit off the skate of. Zarilli hit hard into the boards by Smith, but it was dumped in.
They're going to blow this one for offsides, Alex, because Stony Brook was just off as that puck was flipped in. I think Greg Barnich on the far side didn't quite realize that he was going in to pressure the puck. And then, of course, when there's a delayed offsides and the opposing team that sent the puck in is pressuring, that's when you'll get a whistle for a face-off. That's what we saw there.
Here's Spate on the draw.
Hockey really is a game of inches, and that's what we saw there.
I was a little bit confused at first at the whistle, too. I saw an arm up, so I thought they were calling a penalty as a quick shot in front kept out by Kazakov. Seen 16 shots so far in just about 20 minutes of plays. We near the end of the first period with 1:40 left to go. Spate is in front, looking, he scores! Sam Spate, once again, it's 5-0 Dogs.
Great finish from Sam Spate, blows a kiss to the crowd watching up in the Wow Cafe. Good puck pressure, turned it over, and then good vision as well from Stanko, finding his buddy Sam Spate on the back door.
You know, I think the kiss might be directed towards his mom, who's in attendance tonight. It's her 50th birthday tonight. We had a interesting request for that to be shouted out during the broadcast today, and what better perfect time than that? Here's the Cesare looking towards the net, broke the stick on the shot. Or somebody's stick is broken.
Never seen a stick quite snap like that before.
Actually, I don't even know if that might be some padding. Nobody's stick is broken on the play. Jammer wrists one on. Rattled wide.
Trying to make out what that is in the far corner. It's a mystery.
I don't know if it's a piece of the glove or somebody's pants. It's definitely padding, though. This is gloved down by Malik. Mott is taken down with the trip. And some more contact down low in the corner. Fife is wide towards the left side, but McLaughlin will take the step. This is dumped in. And then sent back down low. Little time remaining. Thornton will hold on. Fife lost control of the pass. Nolan will dump in a last-second attempt if they can get hold of it. But that's going to be it for the first period, as the horn will sound and the Bulldogs will skate into the second period up by a score of 5-0. An absolute shocker here at Arrington Ice Arena this evening. Adrian shooting a lot heavier than the Stony Brook Seawolves, outshooting them 17-2.
Really an incredible first period, Alex. I think it started right from the hop. Adrian had an amazing start to this game. Saw them go up by 4 pretty quickly and then followed up with a fifth. Just amazing plays, and I don't know. I wouldn't say I saw a lot of glaring issues with the way that Stony Brook played that period. I think it's just keying in on the way that Adrian likes to move in transition. They get up the ice so very quickly. It makes it difficult for a defense to keep them at bay. But I think for the Seawolves going into the locker room, they can hang their hat on the fact that as the period went on, they got better and generated a couple of chances. They're going to need to look to transition that into the second period moving forward.
We'll see how the Seawolves respond as the Zamboni will take to the ice, and we'll take our intermission after the first 20 minutes of play. Here live on ACTV, it's Alex Herman and Calvin Keys. We'll return with the second period after the break.
As you anxiously await all of the amazing experiences that will define your college years, you stand today, students, on the threshold of one of the most magical times in your life.
Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, got out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Tuesday, April 6, 2021, I was sitting in my office and an email popped into my inbox from someone in your graduating class today. The email said, "Dear President Docking, back in August, I had emailed you in regards to the state of the well-being of the campus community during the COVID spike. At that time, I was incredibly anxious about the prospect of spending my senior year of college sitting at my kitchen table in my hometown trying to finish my seminar projects in the event we switched to all online learning. As I type this email now in April, I cannot describe to you the gratitude that my fellow students and I have for Adrian remaining open on campus for the duration of the school year. I wanted to take the time to thank the Adrian College community, the faculty, the staff, for allowing us to have as normal of a year as possible in a world that simply did not want that to happen. I look forward to walking across the stage in May knowing that I was still able to enjoy time with my friends and the Bulldog community during my senior year. All the best, Max Birmingham, class of 2021. Max, you've got to stand up so we can give you a round of applause. For those of us on this stage, today is one of the most exciting days of the year. We love to see the wonder and anticipation in the eyes of our new students, as all of you anxiously await all of the amazing experiences that will define the years ahead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here live at Arrington Ice Arena. It's ACHA Hockey Night between the visiting Stony Brook Seawolves and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Welcome back here on ACTV. Alex Herman and Calvin Keys, happy to have you rejoin us for the second period. We saw a wild first 20 minutes of play. 5 goals for the Adrian College Bulldogs. It was Connor Smith who got things started just 57 seconds into the first, followed by Tyler Fife, Ethan Clement, a second goal by Tyler Fife, and a fifth, followed by Sam Spate. Calvin, what did you see after 20 minutes of play?
I mentioned it during the first period, very, very impressed with the start that Adrian had. I believe they had the first 12 to 14 shots of this hockey game and just scored almost instantaneously after the puck was dropped. Came out with a vengeance, and it definitely paid off. I think they caught Stony Brook by surprise a little bit.
I think a lot of us really surprised too. And the other surprise that you're going to get here out of the net is Matevi Kazakov, and in net, number 35 for the Seawolves is going to be Thomas Sullivan. So the end of the night for Kazakov after 20, really the bread and butter for this Seawolves team. He's only played 2 games this season, a 1-1 record, a .350 GAA, and an .891 save percentage. So a big test for the senior from Floral Park, New York. And we'll get ready and set to drop the puck for the second frame of this ACHA Division I matchup. Horn sounds, 20 minutes on the score clock, period number 2. Greg Barnich and Sam Spate up at the center ice, face-off dot. Puck is dropped, and we return to play as we're underway at the AIA. Nolan forwards a pass up. Smith touched it just before the red line, as Spate will come in for support. The circle down low. Nice hit there from Smith on Pepe. This was shoveled up. First stop of the evening for Sullivan, as he easily gloved it down.
I was going to say, that's a good way as a goaltender to just get settled into the game, glove one quickly, and you're settled in, ready to go.
Down low with it. Malfetto lost control, walking in. Here's Smith, scores! Just like that, the Bulldogs are back on the board for the 6th time tonight.
Sebastian Smith with his 12th goal of the year. Second on the team in points behind his brother Connor. Got a sweet feed there. Sullivan caught a little bit on his heels. And man, it's been remarkable watching these two brothers on the ice this season, Connor and Sebastian, both atop the points lead for Adrian. Connor got a goal in the first period to get things going, and Sebastian gets one here in the second. The sibling snipers both get on the board.
Not a whole lot you can do there. As the netminder Sullivan, as he bobbled up a long shot, seemingly shaking off a little bit of the nerves there. Not an easy feeling when you're put into the game already down by 5, and within your first 3 shots, a goal. But hopefully he's able to stay strong here and help his team advance forwards. Here's Edwards. A hard one-timer rattled wide, coming off the stick of William Kormanek. As the other way is Stanko. Down low, fires a shot, shoulder to side by Sullivan. I don't know if he caught a piece of that with the glove or the shoulder, but sort of lost control with the eyesight there, as Mott will fire on. Loose puck off the post, and it stayed out. Mott will wrap this back down low. Smith will get it. Poked off of his stick for a second. A long slap shot sent on. It was tipped in front by DiGiulio. Stanko will still hold on. Threading the needle with the pass. McLaughlin goes high, and it just squeaked wide.
Sullivan on that previous save was almost looking at his glove to see if there was a hole in it. A bit of an optical illusion. It's what it seemed like, but I think the shot just caught his catching mitt at an odd angle.
I think potentially what had happened there, and with experience I can say this has happened to me a couple times, you'll go to make a glove save, and where the glove creases at the top, sometimes when you go to squeeze it, it comes in. It's kind of hard to describe without physically seeing a goalie glove, but you have this crease at the top of the glove, and sometimes when you squeeze it, it comes inwards, so then your glove is collapsing on itself essentially. It's potentially what happened there. It's just a minor glove malfunction.
See, this is why I love calling games with you, Alex. I learned something new about goaltending every broadcast. Earlier on in the season, you taught me the ways of the RVH and the VH, and here again, just teaching me the ins and outs of that position. I was a defenseman, so I don't know too much about it, to be honest.
Don't worry, in a couple minutes we'll talk about Sullivan's skates. I'll give you more goalie facts on that.
Yeah, I saw you talking to him in the pregame.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Strong netminder, looking to do all he can here for his squad. Little cowbell action. Need Will Ferrell when you looking for him in the stands. Don't know if he's sitting somewhere here at Arrington. As this shot was put in! Sheldon Nolan, the captain, puts the Bulldogs up by 7.
It's Nolan's 14th point of the season. And Stony Brook struggling to find the puck. A couple of bad bounces. Good pass by Clemens back to the point. And again, a lot of bodies in front. Initially thought it could have been redirected by Armstrong or Fife, but immediately they point to their captain, Sheldon Nolan. And as I just mentioned, as a former defenseman, it's always great to see a blue liner get a goal. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's really a good feeling as a defenseman.
That was definitely a seeing eye shot. Really picked his spot very well. Really just lofted it in on net, hoping that it was going to catch a piece, maybe somebody catch the rebound too. But a great shot by Sheldon Nolan, and they're up by a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a high percentage scoring opportunity back from that sort of distance with that many bodies in front, but, I mean, the great one, Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so may as well have a go. That's what Nolan did there, and it paid off.
You do. DeContier will come out of the crease off the face-off to play that puck to the far side, and it's in between the slot. Gajewski will get it. Was tripped up just for a second and floats one in. Easy stick stop there for Sullivan, and we'll put the glove over it for the whistle with 16:06 left to go here in Adrian.
Not the start that the Seawolves were looking for to start this second period. Bulldogs just keep rolling, and that's what they do to teams with the sort of depth they have. Just continue to wear you down. They've done that to many GLCHL opponent this season.
Certainly a surprising result, as we've mentioned. One of the games in the week that you have starred down on your schedule, knowing that it's 2 top 20 teams, and Stony Brook, even though they're number 17, you could argue that they could be a lot higher than that.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit perplexed with how this game has gone so far. You look at, they beat a top team in Ohio about a couple of weeks ago in OT on the road at a really tough barn to play in Bird Arena, and that's a team that Adrian split with. So you certainly thought Stony Brook had a really good chance in this one, and again, just a lot of hockey left to be played still.
And it's surprising, too. I got to talk with Coach Gary Astalos before the game, and that's one of the things that he really highlighted, and he even said it in the same exact way. You know, Stony Brook is number 17. As Stankel will try and break into, Julio fires a shot, stopped, and kept out on the rebound by Sullivan. And as I was saying, Coach Gary Astalos for the Bulldogs, noting that even though Stony Brook, number 17 in the rankings right now, is a very sneaky team to try and get by and should not be taken for granted by any means, because they're certainly a strong roster loaded with talent, similarly to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we saw there after the whistle, Alex, Mateo DiGiulio as well as Jesse Edwards going nose-to-nose, exchanging pleasantries, and I'm surprised that neither of them were punished with a penalty. Certainly a heated exchange there.
See how things unfold in that front for the rest of the game. It's been pretty clean so far. Not a lot of body contact nor other physicalities after whistles or during plays. The first real test there. Back the other way, and DeContier played that puck nicely off the glass and will smother it for the whistle. He'll take the face-off to the TV far side on the left of your screen. As this one-timer was hammered wide, put into the right corner, and picking up is Hatcher. Connects the other way with Jamer. Walks in, through the legs, taken down, arm up on the play. Maybe a penalty shot. And here we go as things start to get interesting.
Bulldogs need to be disciplined here. They drew a penalty. They don't want to draw to 4-on-4 hockey. Just have to get out of this one and take the power play. But you mentioned it just moments ago. This game, by the Bulldogs' standards, has not been incredibly physical or feisty, but I think temper's finally blowing over here in the second with the Seawolves down by a touchdown.
Well, you have to wonder, especially if you're a Seawolf, things really starting to get frustrating for them. They're down by 7, and the call is going to be made as a holding on Robert DiStefano.
Senior defenseman from Edison, New Jersey, will sit for 2. Looking at the roster for this Stony Brook team, it's just majority just New York, New Jersey, Connecticut guys. Very local-based area team. They recruit well from the region.
Loaded with talent, too. Have plenty of guys who played Tier 2 juniors as well as Division III NCAA at multiple different schools. You see some EHL as well as some USPHL in there as Stanko lofted one over the crossbar, and a great keep-in by Bond. Will spin it back down low in the slot. Here's Fife, and he rang the crossbar. This is back over. A tip shot is kept out by Sullivan. A nice save on the redirect. Bond winds up and fakes. Gets it right back and opens up with the snapper, and it was deflected wide.
Tyler Fife thought he had the hat trick there, but the goaltender's best friend, the post, strikes again.
Here's DiGiulio. Back on his own blue with 60 gone in the 5-on-4. Stanko will drop and get it back, looking towards the net. And standing strong once more is Sullivan in the slot. Here's DiGiulio, swallowed up by the chest.
Whoa.
Sullivan with the save.
A big shove in the back on Stanko. Getting into the fray was Molfetto. Took exception to how Stanko was hovering over Sullivan in front, and tempers will flare here again.
This is where it really does start to get interesting. These are the instances you don't exactly like to see. Have to be especially careful if you're an Adrian Bulldog, because you know at this point the Seawolves are angry, frustrated in this game, and they're looking to come in contact more and make more body hits. And a charging call will be made against the Seawolves as the Bulldogs will go 5-on-3 for the next 52 seconds if nothing changes.
Dominic Molfetto is going to join his teammate DiStefano in the penalty box. 2-minute call for roughing, and that's a good call by the officials. Have to tighten the reins a little bit here as the intensity ramping up in this one.
Gajewski sent it down low, looking for the pass back, and he gets it. Now gives to Nolan for Spate. Fan on the pass. Gajewski, a drive kept out by the shoulder of Sullivan. Here's another chance as Spate wound up and fanned on that one-timer. He's taken down, but no call, and it's cleared out of the zone. DeContier will send a long pass from his own red line up to Spate, who grabs it on the left wing and a backhander back. Up top for Bond. To Thornton, fires wide to the glove side as it rattled around the glass and sent back the way of DeContier.
Dakota Bond goes back to pick up the puck. He had a 5-point night last weekend against Western Michigan.
Here's Bond, down low in the butterfly, saved by Sullivan. This is cleared, but it was sent up into the netting and will stop with a minute left to go in the power play opportunity. 12-16 here remaining in the second period of play at Arrington Ice Arena.
Conversation being had right now. It looks like DiStefano recently out of the penalty box, having a chat with the ref. And I want to say the Seawolves were trying to make a line change and were just a little bit too slow on the draw. So I think that Dempsey's going to have to stay on the ice. I believe that's what transpired.
There was some commotion, too, on the Adrian bench a couple of moments before in the line change. Unsure of what that was about, but hopefully they're able to settle things down as Fife will control. Gets the pass right back from the stick of Bond. Down low, dead angle. Nothing there. Right side, it's chopped up. Played off of the glove. Walking in, here's a chance. Easy blocker save, holding the post well by DeContier. Only his third shot of the evening.
Yeah, good job. I think that was Bond who took away the open ice from Connor Dempsey, who has a lot of speed in his game.
What a move by Smith. Walking in, Sullivan with the stop. Loose on the rebound and finally cleared out. Mott will almost keep it with the stick. And the penalty will expire. Bulldogs unsuccessful on the 5-on-3 that transitioned into the 5-on-4.
Connor Smith must have been practicing that between the legs move a lot this week because he's pulled that out of his bag of tricks 2 or 3 times already tonight.
Very interested to see if he can successfully pull that move off at some point in the game and then connect on a goal, as tripping up over the own blue line was Christian Malik. Got to remember the ice is slippery. Got to look out.
I will say, it's really tough as a defenseman. Definitely a lot of potential to catch an edge when you're skating backwards because, you're just a little off balance, especially looked like he was trying to transition up ice, so it happens to everyone. It's just one of those things.
It's that transition where you're going from forwards to backwards and you're shifting your weight back, so I definitely know what you're talking about there.
Yep, just got to pop up and, again, have the memory of a goldfish after one of those.
Great shot block by Armstrong coming off the shot from DiStefano. Soaked it right in front. No fear there, laying the body down. Great pull-up move by Armstrong. Looking to break free, bounces one, and Sullivan making the smart play to cover up for the whistle.
You mentioned the shot block from Cameron Armstrong. You always love to see a player putting their body on the line for the team, especially when you're up big. It could be easy to develop some bad habits and you maybe let off the gas a little bit. Armstrong making the perfect play, and the junior really all season has been bringing that part to his game, but it's been good to see the offensive side developing as the season wears on. You mentioned he had his first career hat trick last weekend against Western Michigan.
Always a fun time when you can put up those stats. Never had a hat trick myself, but wonder what that feeling must be like.
Well, it's tough to score a hat trick from the blue paint.
Goalie goal, very rare in these days.
I remember there was 1 year of Pee Wee where I got pulled up to forward for a tournament, and I got put on a line with the best player on our team. First career hat trick as about an 11-year-old kid. I was on top of the world. Little did I know that's the only hat trick I'd ever get.
Well, it's one that you'll never forget for sure.
Still have the pin in my room.
There you go. Here's Pepe. We'll move it horizontally. A shot, open net, and it wouldn't go. There was all the space in the world, but somehow it was kept out as this shot bounced off of the end wall. And DeContier will extend out, and a scrum under the red line.
Oh, goodness. Who was that who poked in on DeContier after the whistle had blown? It looks like it was the captain, Devin Pepe, putting his hat in the ring, and players still having to be separated. Looks like Pomanik was getting into it with Clemen. I will say, I think Adrian's had some troubles with discipline this year. Obviously, you got to protect your goaltender. That's the right thing to do in that situation. But at the same time, got another game tomorrow, so want to focus on this one tonight, but at the same time, want to stay disciplined because you want to have your full roster with you both in the next game and for the rest of the season down the stretch.
Got to be careful on all fronts to make sure that you have the best roster that you can possibly put out, as Smith stepped up to lay down the boom on Malfetto. Here's Smith trying to walk through as he came in contact with Malfetto and some extracurriculars after the play. There's an arm up and it's whistled down, and here we go. We got a scrum on our hands. Things starting to lose control. We just talked about it a moment ago, and there's an extra scrum after the whistle.
Referees working hard to try and separate these guys.
McDermott's giving an extra shove too to Smith as we're separating things here.
That was Malfetto getting involved with Gajewski. A wrestling match.
Malfetto really having to be controlled here, escorted to the box.
Goodness me.
Gajewski not backing down by any means. Interested to see what's going to transpire here in the penalty box.
We got 2 Bulldogs and 2 we're only going to get 1 Seawolf in the box and 2 Bulldogs, because that was Sebastian Smith that initiated that whole thing. I mean, the Stonewolf, or the Seawolf player, excuse me.
Malfado's getting tossed. That's going to be the end of his night. And he's getting a round of applause from the WoW Warriors up in the WoW Cafe.
So Malfado's night ends early. What I was going to say is that, well, I think it was a Seawolf player. I think it was Malfado who had a bit of a hit on Smith away from the play, and they got tangled up. It was Smith who went back after him after the play had ended.
Yep.
So that's why I have a hunch that Stony Brook could be going to the man advantage. Although now with the ejection, because I think he got an additional penalty from talking to the ref and that whole exchange they had moving to the box. Initially, I think we would have seen a Seawolf power play, but maybe evened up now. It's tough to tell.
If I were to guess, it's probably going to cancel out because of the minutes.
What I will say, I'm glad I'm up here in the booth and not keeping score down there between the penalty boxes, because I think that referee's laying it out to him in an MLA format right now.
Yes, that he is. Not APA style there.
DeGiulio and DiStefano having a conversation. A lot of hockey left here, and these guys are competitive. You know, they want to win. They want to help out their teammates. And I think at the same time, you just got to keep your emotion in check. At the end of the day, just want everyone to be safe at the end of this one, and don't want to do something you're going to regret later.
That is very true. So we're seeing 2 2-minute penalties put on the side of Adrian and 1 5-minute penalty be put on the side of Stony Brook. So to my calculations, just 1 minute, or should be 2 minutes of 5. What is going to be here?
It's going to be
confusing.
It's going to be a Stony Brook power play for 2 minutes, and then after that, I think Adrian's going to have a 3-minute power play.
I think you're right. Is it 4 on 3? What's going on here? I don't know. We're going to find out when everybody gets to the ice. I can't do math very well. There's a reason why I took it my first semester to get it out of my way.
I was going to say, we got 2 broadcasting majors up here. We got to get a math major or something just to even out.
Josiah, you know anything about math?
Talking to our cameraman, trying to use all the resources we have up here. I think
So-
we got it right, though.
Somebody needs a calculator. All right, so it's 4 on 3. That's what's going to happen here for the next 2 minutes. 4 on 3 hockey. Seawolves will stay on the power play, and then after that expires, the Bulldogs will transition into the 5 on 4. There we go. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. We're all good. Spate will strip this away. Walks through and is checked off of the puck.
So I did get it right. 4 on 3 for
Yes.
2 minutes, and then 5 on 4 for Adrian for 3 minutes.
I was trying to figure out the way to have that come out of my mouth, but I don't know what wasn't connecting there. As Spate will walk in through the legs, and a save by Sullivan, and he'll hold on.
My motto comes from the great Michael Scott. I don't always know where the sentence is going, but I just hope I find it along the way.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Sam Spate got into it with another Seawolf player. I think he was talking to DiStefano, who's
Yep.
been in the thick of it. Now Spate's going to the box.
Oh, this is not
So
what
our
you...
math equation growing in complexity by the minute here.
So is it.
Wait, 3 on 3 hockey. Let's go. This is going to be awesome.
Wait, does it stay 4 on 3? Does it go to 5 on 3?
You know what?
Can
now
you,
that I
can
say
you
that,
divide players
So-
at this point?
as a former official, since there's already 2 penalties against Adrian, Sam Spate's penalty is not going to end until those 2 penalties up on the board end. So as soon as that 1:27 expires, then we'll have another 2 minutes starting for Spate's penalty.
I wonder if the time's going to be running right now.
No,
Maybe-
so the penalty does not start until the other 2 penalties expire.
Does it really?
Yep.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll see what transpires here. Things getting complicated up in the booth. We're going to need a rule book, a calculator, maybe a ruler, a protractor, all the mathematical tools that you're going to need to figure out what's going on right now. But at the moment, we're 4 on 3. Seawolves are up on the man for the next minute. 8:07 left to go. Bulldogs lead 7-0. Shots are 28-5. Those are the facts that I know at the moment.
Yep, and then the spate penalty will commence after, so it's going to negate about 2 minutes of Adrian's power play time that they were going to get.
Here's a hard one-timer from McDermott. Rattled around the outside.
This is good, Alex, because I have a math exam on Monday, so at least I got some
This
practice
is going to warm.
in.
Yeah, this is going to warm you up for that.
I'll count this as my study session for the weekend.
Yes. McDermott. Boris. Down the left side. 10 seconds left on the initial 2 Adrian penalties. As this moves back up top. Boris. Along the top. A give and go. A save from DeContenier. And Smith and Stanko were released from the box just in the nick of time.
Yeah, that drive came from William Cormanick, freshman forward from Ridgewood, New York. 21 points in 17 games this season. Looking for his 9th goal of the year there, but denied by Deco. Another penalty against Stony Brook.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness. It's been a parade to the penalty box in this second period.
Yeah, I would not want to be in between the in between the penalty boxes right now for the scorer's table because there's too much writing, too many numbers involved, a lot of names.
Certainly not family friendly down there either.
Not at all. Fife moves it over and a redirect goes in.
That's the hat trick for Tyler Fife. Got some help from the Seawolves on that deflection, but Fife with the Hattie.
This is a pinball wizard play. A really innocent pass sent off. You'll see it here and then redirecting perfectly off the center there and into the back of the net. Beat Sullivan for the 8-0 lead.
Yeah, he saw Matteo DiGiulio on the back door, but I think that went off the skate of Eddie Molfetto and into the net. Nothing you can do as a goaltender there, as I'm sure you know.
No, not at all.
Bad bounces has kind of been the storyline of tonight. Adrian has earned this lead without a doubt, but at the same time, I think everything's been going their way. I'll just put it that way.
Continuing on, here's Stanko. What a move! And it was kept out just barely. Oh, some high skill there from Brendan Stanko.
Thomas Sullivan able to make the stop, though.
6:35 left to go in the second period. You know, I wonder if the penalty to Spate was a 10-minute.
I think you're right. It has not gone up on the board after the minute and a half started or expired, rather. So that's a good observation. So, yeah, same Spate. Luckily, he's got a buddy down there, Gajewski, in there with him right now.
Not a bad guy to sit next to. Call him Juice in the locker room for those of you who don't know. So I think what's happening here is there was a 5 in a game called against Stony Brook, and that's the penalty that you're seeing up on the board right now on the guest side. And then 2 10 minutes for Adrian towards Gajewski, as well as Spate. Here's Smith. Opens up, and his shot was blocked off the knee pad of Fess. Thornton back to Nolan. Dishing it for Thornton. Got it right back off of the stick of Smith. This is played back, and circling is Smith. Being pressed by Fess. Nolan wires one on. Snuck through a sea of bodies. As this one was taken the other way, and wrapping on the post there was Sullivan as it hit off the outside of the iron and is poked free. Nolan steps in to Smith. A miscalculated pass bounced off of the corner. Nolan to Smith. That shot was blocked. Came off of the knee pad of Pomianic. Nolan, Smith, wires. Once again blocked in front. Smith, Nolan in the slot, slapping it was the Cesare. Thornton has it, gives the D-to-D pass. Adrian controlling the offensive zone on their man advantage, as going down on one knee was Jammer, but he couldn't get the shot off.
Oh, and then got a little bit of a hack from McDermott. Great shot block by number 74 on the play, though.
Here's Nolan, tries to feed the slot. Some speed from Cormanick as he breaks free towards the net. Sticked aside by DeContier.
Already 33 shots on goal for Adrian in this game, to Stony Brook 6.
Smith over for DeJulio, tips it through his legs and into the zone. This will pop up on the right side. A shot was fired, and it deflected into the netting and will stop play with 3:49 left to go in the second period of play of this ACHA Division I matchup between the Stony Brook University Seawolves and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Alex Herman and Calvin Keys here, live on ACTV. Happy to have you all join us from wherever you may be watching. Hoping you're having a great evening, enjoying some fantastic Bulldog hockey. As Hatcher picks up a nice move, tried to hit Mott, who was broken up. Clemens steps off the blue, bounces it down low. Dropping back is Trezera. This puck bouncing through neutral ice, glove down. And a good defensive stick by Mott. Was able to get there. And a hard hit from Hatcher from DiStefano. Awarded by a nice applause upstairs at the Wow Cafe.
It's going to be too many men against Stony Brook again. Having some trouble with the line changes.
Stony Brook just getting overwhelmed at this point.
It's a tough break, for sure. And that's the second too many men penalty they've taken in this game.
Yep.
Looks like going to serve it is going to be James Kazicki. You know, as we have this stoppage and get things sorted out, I just wanted to send best wishes, thoughts and prayers out to Josh Fricks, currently in the hospital right now, recovering from some injuries he sustained last night in a game. He's a member of Liberty University's ACHA men's D1 hockey team. Hope you're doing well, Josh. He broke his neck in a couple of places and had to have an aluminum rod inserted into one of his arms. So I really hope you're doing all right. And from all of us here at Adrian College Television and from the Adrian College program in general, we wish you a quick and speedy recovery.
Could definitely echo those sentiments. You never want to see any member of the hockey community down with an injury, especially an injury as serious as the one that Fricks has. So we extend our wishes for speedy recovery, and we hope that you're doing well and you're receiving the support and treatment that is much needed at this point. Continuing on, Julio will get it down the left wing. Up top is Smith. Fires, scores! Connor Smith lights the lamp once again, and the Bulldogs lead by 9.
9-0 Adrian. And I think right here you see the speed on display. I believe that's DeJulio that circled all the way around the goal. Connor Smith, a shot from distance. That was a laser. Take a bow.
It didn't even look like he put in that much to the shot, but it came off of the stick so fast and just displays the raw power and speed that he has. What a great shot from the point as the Bulldogs really taking over this game.
I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but it almost looks like Connor Smith isn't even trying when he's out there playing. Almost everything he does looks effortless. Just the strength he has and just the hockey smarts he has to always be in the right place and make the right play at the right time.
That just shows you an extremely high-skilled player who's effective in every single way possible. Great in the defensive back end, great in the offensive zone, an all-around 300-foot hockey player.
even with Stony Brook down by 9 right now, I've really been impressed by William Kormanek. He was just buzzing around the offensive zone on that shift, and his work ethic has been phenomenal so far tonight.
Lindecker on the ice now, getting off for the change. New unit out for the Dogs, and a dead angle shot trying to sent on by Armstrong. Dida dumps in to Cantier, stopping with the paddle as we're under 60 to play. A broken stick. Mott will have to drop it because you can't continue play with broken twig.
And unfortunate for Connor Dempsey that the track he was taking with the puck went directly into that broken stick, so he couldn't keep control.
Armstrong lost it to Boris. Dempsey back, and Mott with a brand new piece of lumber lays the hit down and gets some stick taps from his teammates. Dida will pick up. Had it slapped away from him. Boris crosses the blue, fires on to Cantier with the hold.
22 seconds left in this second period. Just kind of shocking the way this game has developed, because I think pregame, me and you were having the conversation. Stony Brook came into this game ranked number 17 in the country. I would argue they're pretty underrated when you look at their schedule, their resume, what they've done. Obviously beating number 3 Ohio. They had some good wins against Rhode Island, even beat an NCAA D3 school, Manhattanville, to start the season. So you get the feeling that these guys are going to bounce back tomorrow. I think there's going to be a tough game tomorrow afternoon as well for this Adrian team. I believe puck drop for that one's at 1 p.m. right back here on Adrian College TV. Second half of the back-to-back.
That puck was lifted off of the draw into the netting. So we'll restart the face-off. Same spot that we just took it. 17.4 left to go in the second frame. Trezera winds up, kicked out by DeContier. A bounce pass, what a play. Smith on the breakaway, scores! He does it again!
That's another hat trick for the Bulldogs. Connor Smith will join Tyler Fife with a 3-goal night of his own. Started with Trezera, shot from the point. That was patted away by DeContier. Just the awareness. They love these stretch feeds all the way down the ice. It was banged off the boards all the way down to Smith. And from there, he picked his spot perfectly, as he so often does.
Oh my goodness, that started with an unbelievable pass. And Connor Smith, once again, the Dogs have reached double digits. It's the second team today who's gone up by that number. Saw the NCAA women's team in their senior night beat Finlandia by a score of 11-0, and now the Bulldogs looking to do the same as the horn will sound, ending the second period. And Adrian will skate into the third regulation period, up 10-0, out shooting the Seawolves 35-9. Things really started to pick up from what I saw in that period. We saw the physicality start to make its way into the game. Some frustrations from both sides, and a series of penalties at that as well. What did you think about the first 40 minutes of play, Calvin?
Well, there's been no shortage of goals at the Arrington Ice Arena this weekend, and I think that's putting it a little bit mildly. At this point, I think for both teams, it's sticking with your good habits. I say this a lot whenever we see a blowout game, but for Adrian, even though they're leading, you got to stick to your guns, close this one out, playing the same way that you played the first 40. That shows respect to your opponent, and it also helps you moving forward in the season because you're not developing bad habits and developing laziness. I'm sure head coach for Adrian, Gary Estelis, will not allow that to happen, and they'll continue on the way they are. But for Stony Brook, I mean, you got to have a mentality that you have 80 more minutes of hockey to play this season, and it starts in the next 20. How you respond, I think that'll tell Stony Brook's head coach, Chris Garofalo, a lot about his hockey team, what he sees in this third period.
So we'll see what happens when we return from the break. But Alex Herman and Calvin Keys, happy to have you join us here on ACTV for tonight's ACHA Division I matchup. We'll return with Adrian and Stony Brook after the break.
as you anxiously await all of the amazing experiences that will define your college years. You stand today, students, on the threshold of one of the most magical times in your life.
Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, gut out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Tuesday, April 6, 2021, I was sitting in my office and an email popped into my inbox from someone in your graduating class today. The email said, "Dear President Docking, back in August, I had emailed you in regards to the state of the well-being of the campus community during the COVID spike. At that time, I was incredibly anxious about the prospect of spending my senior year of college sitting at my kitchen table in my hometown trying to finish my seminar projects in the event we switched to all online learning. As I type this email now in April, I cannot describe to you the gratitude that my fellow students and I have for Adrian remaining open on campus for the duration of the school year. I wanted to take the time to thank the Adrian College community, the faculty, the staff, for allowing us to have as normal of a year as possible in a world that simply did not want that to happen. I look forward to walking across the stage in May knowing that I was still able to enjoy time with my friends and the Bulldog community during my senior year. All the best, Max Birmingham, class of 2021. Max, you've got to stand up so we can give you a round of applause. For those of us on this stage, today is one of the most exciting days of the year. We love to see the wonder and anticipation in the eyes of our new students, as all of you anxiously await all of the amazing experiences that will define the years ahead.
and gentlemen, here at Arrington Ice Arena. The third period of regulation for this ACHA Division I matchup between the visiting Stony Brook University Seawolves and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Hello everyone, welcome back here on ACTV. Alex Herman and Calvin Keys, happy to have you rejoin us for the last regulation period of this contest. 10-0 is the score for those of you just joining in right now. Calvin, walk us through the second period.
2 words: penalties, goals.
That sums it up pretty well.
We had, what was the score after one period of play? Was it 5-0? I believe we had 5 goals, and total penalty minutes are sitting at 14 for Adrian and 19 for Stony Brook. I believe we had 2 penalty minutes each going into that second period. So we have 12 penalty minutes for Adrian and then 17 for Stony Brook in that second frame. And I know you've had Sam Spade on as your color guy a couple of times. He's going to be down there in the box for a while. Do we have an extra mic laying around? Or
We got to check in on that. We'll see with our directors, see if we can squeak one down there, see if we can get some inside the rink reporting from Sam Spate. Everybody's ready and set to go. Center ice face-off about to commence. And off to the races we go.
in the late stages of that second period and during the intermission, we kind of discerned that Gajewski and Spate were both handed 10-minute not game misconduct, but 10-minute misconduct penalties. So that means that from the time that penalty was called, which maybe our director can look that up for us, but when that penalty is called, they're in the box for 10 minutes, and then they have to wait for the next stoppage before they can come out.
That is correct. You know, I really think it's funny. We talked about after the first period how it was surprisingly a quiet game on the physical front between the two teams. And then I guess they might have caught wind of that comment, and both sides decided, nope, we're not going to let that happen, and we're just going to let some fists fly through the air. And we saw a little bit of a different result after 40 minutes.
I think the healthy scratches watching the game right next to us must have passed the word back to the locker room at the intermission. We need some more fisticuffs in this one. It's so funny, though, isn't it? Like, in the broadcasting booth, the exact opposite of what you say almost always happens. You have to be so careful. That's why there's, certain words that you just can't say during a broadcast.
That is true of broadcasters. Jinx, they do exist here in the world of athletics, in every sport. Seen it plenty of times. Boris wrists one from the blue. Easy hold-up save by DeContier.
Alex, I went on an interesting internet rabbit hole when I was researching for this game last night. So I saw that Stony Brook's mascot was the Seawolves, a mascot they share with the University of Alaska Anchorage at the NCAA D1 level. I did some digging, found out a great deal about the mascot history of Stony Brook University. They started out, they were nicknamed the Soundmen as well as the Baymen when they were founded in 1957. Then from 1960 to 1966, they were the Warriors, then became the Patriots until 1994. When they made the transition to the NCAA D1 level, they changed the name to the Seawolves. Now that's an odd nickname, I thought, because wolves don't inhabit the sea, and they were wiped out from Long Island in the 1900s. Yes. So they don't have any wolves or sea wolves on Long Island. But they chose the nickname. It's named after a mythical creature from the Tlingit tribe of the Pacific Northwest region of the U.S. It's said to bring good luck and wealth to anyone able to see it or hear its howl. The mythical creature is based on the subspecies of gray wolf that inhabits Vancouver Island. No connection to Long Island, but as an island region, it is fitting. And unfortunately, I don't think Stony Brook saw the Seawolf before they stepped on the ice tonight because luck has not been on their side.
I agree with that statement. And there's your great insight from the fantastic Calvin Keys here, my color commentating partner for this evening, as Clement will pick up along the left side. I'm honestly blown away with that whole stat line there. That's quite some research there, Calvin. That was pretty impressive. I got to tip my cap to you for that one.
You ever just go on a Wikipedia page and you can't stop clicking on the links and moving on to the next one?
It keeps going. Yeah, I'm definitely at a loss for words for that one. That's pretty impressive.
I did some research about the Bulldogs mascot too, but I'll save that for the next low in play.
There we go. We'll get part 2 of Calvin's infinite research on the mascots for this evening. Things starting to slow down just a couple of minutes into the third period. Nothing too interesting yet, as this pass was bounced off of the boards. Fife tried to glove it down, and Mott stepped up to make a nice hit on Nick Zarilli. Wow, Warriors showing their love for the Bulldogs. DiStefano dumps in and gets the change. New unit out for the Seawolves.
I've really enjoyed watching Nathaniel Mott play this season. He's a freshman from I believe, the Toronto area, and he's got 10 assists in 21 games this year. He plays a really steady game on defense, but can also hop up into the play and contribute offensively, and has been a great addition. You talk about great recruiting by head coach Gary Estalos for this Bulldog program. Added another key piece that'll be with this program and help him out for years to come.
Played his junior career with Elmira in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. A very strong, and I'd like to say underrated, Canadian Junior League, as Bond fires on, and that hit off of the toes of Thomas Sullivan and into the corner. As it's rattled up top, Kent will stop it at the far blue. A tip shot went high. Sullivan lost the eyesight on it, and it's turned over. Skating the other way is Kazicki. Gets it past Bond, but he's got legs, and he's able to break it up just for a moment. McDermott fires on, easy paddle stop by DeContier. And that was almost a scary situation right on top of DeContier.
You have to be careful if you're DeGiulio in that situation, because you're trying to stop your opponent from crashing the net towards your goaltender, but so often those kind of plays develop into you actually shoving the player into your goaltender, which doesn't help out either side. It's a tough play to make, obviously. You want to try to get in the way, but you never want to, send a 6 foot, 2 foot tall forward into your netminder.
DeGiulio tried to bounce for Stanko. It was miscalculated and it's taken the other way. But Stanko gets the breakaway here, all alone. What a move! And he scores! And it's Stanko's turn to take a bow.
My goodness. I mean, we see from the skill of players nowadays so many of these no-look passes, but we see the dangers of it on that opportunity. And Brendan Stanko, how's she doing? Forehand, backhand.
Goodness. That was nifty.
You got the connections, Alex. Let's get that one up on the Hockey House.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll see that on the Hockey House replay tomorrow night. We'll make it happen.
Goodness me. It looks great when you pull off a spinorama no-look feed, but especially close to your own defensive blue line, it's not always the best decision to make.
Hatcher dropped for the Cesare, and he puts it home. Just like that, another quick response for the Bulldogs.
My goodness. Again, it's just hard work from the Bulldogs to force a turnover behind the net. Great puck movement, and, going to use a baseball term on that one. That was a bit of a change-up from DeCesare. Kind of, not going to say whiffed on it, but less speed than you would typically see on a wrist shot at the ACHA level, and I think that's why Sullivan had a little bit of trouble stopping it.
Sort of a floater on that.
Yep.
DeCesare will break in as Jamer tried to play the puck out of the air as it's bounced off of the glass. McLaughlin couldn't get the legs to stretch to glove it down, but it's going to be an icing nonetheless.
I don't think that was intentional, but you think of, in a baseball game, a pitcher, the strategy they use is they want to give hard pitches sometimes to get the batter to chase it and then be prepared for that fast pitch to come in. But then when it's off speed, you kind of end up being a little bit too aggressive. It's kind of like how this game has gone, where there's been 11 phenomenal goals, and then when you're expecting a strong shot, it comes in a little bit slower than you were anticipating.
Slap by McLaughlin, pushes towards the right side, and ringing the iron there was Mateo Daida. Looking for the short side snipe. Fife has a trailer, a saucer, and a nice save by Sullivan as he holds up. And the second chance is put home. And that one will certainly count. It's 13-0 Bulldogs.
Again, it's just quick in transition, moving the puck up ice with haste. A beautiful saucer by Fife, and then hit in front of the goal, and then finding the loose change. That time, it was Clement to get the goal. I think that was Armstrong that initially crashed the net. He got moved away. There was a delayed penalty, and then Clement sent it home. And still a player going to the box.
Yeah, it's Spencer Boris. Didn't catch the call there. Was it interference? Unsportsmanlike conduct?
I could be wrong here, but I believe in the ACHA, when there is a goal scored on a delayed penalty, then the penalty would be negated. I believe that's how it goes.
I think possibly that it was called after the whistle.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. So in this case, since there is still a penalty being called against Stony Brook, it must have been something that transpired when the puck, or when the play was dead after the goal was scored.
Sam Spate finally let go out of the box with his fellow teammate, Gajewski. This will crash towards the right side. Spate soccer kicks it to Nolan. A shot and shoulder to side by Sullivan. Lost sight of the puck. Scary rebound there, but that wouldn't go. Here's Nolan to Gajewski. Right side. A fired shot. Loose puck scramble. Nolan steps off, rips one. And Sullivan with the hold. And Thornton will come in contact with McDermott after the whistle. .19 left to go in the third period of play. Bulldogs lead by 13 goals. We'll stay on the power play for the next minute and 17 seconds. 5-on-4 is the odd man advantage. Bond to Fife. Kicked out Sullivan. Broke his stick on the shot. Gets the assist on the stick from Tyler LaFollette, our prized equipment manager, controlling the benches over there. In the slot, this puck shot out, look out. Scary situation there.
I was heading straight for the dome of Coach Estalos.
Yes, it was.
You know, perusing the Stony Brook roster sheet, Mateo Dida, who hit the post a couple of minutes ago, tried to get the first goal of the game for the Seawolves. He's a native, and correct me, or I'm apologies in advance if I pronounce this incorrectly, but Combloux, France is his home city. Pretty incredible. Only a handful of French players in the NHL. Alexander Texier, Antoine Roussel, a few others. But cool to see an international influence. Obviously, the starting netminder, Matvey Kazakov, is from Russia, so a wide recruiting net for both of these programs.
We talked about the depth, too, of the different locations that both these teams have junior hockey players as well as former NCAA collegiate hockey players. So two teams that certainly know how to recruit and put together well-rounded teams. Plenty of Tier 2 players on both sides, as well as higher ranks of Tier 3, some NCAA Division 3, and some prospects in there too that you could argue could have made it to the Division 1 ranks. As there's going to be a penalty called on this play.
Got to be running out of room on that score sheet.
Yep.
From a quick glance from up here down at the scorekeeper's booth that's right below us, they are getting to the bottom of the page. So it's been extensive, both in goals and penalties. Clement goes to the box. Did you see the signal on that one?
I didn't catch it. So a power play opportunity here for the Seawolves. We'll look to see if they can make something happen. Boris swipes it down and keeps it in, but it's Thornton who gets to it and sends a long pass up for Hatcher. Makes a nice move walking through, trying to spin off. Shoved off possession And he'll play it into the slot. It's taken away by Barnich.
And for Stony Brook, they just need to get a goal on this power play. Need to get something going, just for confidence sake, just to build some momentum heading into tomorrow.
Sullivan will gingerly stop it with the paddle. Will wait and fire up ice. Got lost for a second. DeContier came out momentarily, but retreated back to the crease.
Now, sorry to interrupt you, Alex, there. I was going to say our NCAA women's team here at Adrian College at the NCAA D3 level, they set the record for most goals in a game on Friday night with 19. I'm curious what the record is for ACHA Men's Division I. We've got 13 for Adrian right now. Maybe our amazing director, Dakota Schneider, could look that up for us. What's the ACHA Men's D1 goals in a game record from a particular team? By the way, just wanted to shout out our crew, too. Josiah Durrell, Dakota Schneider, Kyle Plesha working behind the scenes. This broadcast does not happen without them. You hear our voices, but you don't see all the work that they're doing behind the scenes. Again, just the unsung heroes of Adrian College television, and wouldn't be able to bring this presentation to you without them. Hope you're doing well wherever you are taking in the action.
Can certainly echo that sentiment as things continue on. Edwards fires one over, shoulder to side to Contier, loose on the crease as it's kept out, and there's going to be another penalty called as this was shot high and wide and will escape the zone. McDermott back to get it. Clement exits the box, but they'll still remain 5-on-4 down a man as there was a penalty called on Ethan McLaughlin. Let's see what the call is here. It's a interference. Ethan McLaughlin will sit for 2 minutes.
I think it was a collision, one of those plays where you see it so much at the higher levels of hockey where a player just kind of tries to take some real estate away from someone after they chip the puck in behind them. And I think McLaughlin may have laid his shoulder just a little bit too much into a Seawolf. And a good call. Again, being able to call penalties at this stage of the game is pretty paramount because that's how you help cooler heads prevail down the stretch.
Certainly a good job from the officials to hold control of the contest. Something you certainly like to see quite a lot.
Nice pirouette.
Takeaway from Spate. Batted it out of the air. What a play. Walks in and a great blocker stop by Sullivan. What a goal that would have been if somehow miraculously Spate would have been able to get that off.
Now, I'd be curious to watch that play again because that was very, very close to being a high stick from Spate. I think he kept it below shoulder height, but it was certainly close.
I definitely agree with you on that. There you see up in the crowd, the WOW Warriors with their flag. Guys who show support for all the Bulldogs hockey teams. Never an easy thing to do when you have to come into Arrington Ice Arena and you got a frantic crowd sitting above you telling you how they feel.
Yep, and you got a group of guys with a lot of energy and a lot of loyalty to their team that are perched right above the Stony Brook bench. There's no escaping it, whether you're on the ice or on the bench. You're going to hear some choice words from the crowd up above.
Choice words is definitely the understatement.
Yeah.
Here's Pepe, feeds a one-timer across. Don't know if DeContier got a piece of it, but it didn't go. Trezera, he hems one on, and that rattles wide.
Big battle along the end wall here.
Scrum along the kick plate, finally broken free. Thornton has a trailer, finds it in Armstrong, all alone, walks in. A save from Sullivan.
Whoa, puck was loose in behind Thomas Sullivan. I think it trickled through the 5-hole. Got some help from his defenseman, Matthew McDermott, who's gotten a lot of ice time tonight. And, you know, despite the fact that Stony Brook has allowed 13 goals, McDermott has really stood out. He's played a physical brand of hockey, and he has shut down some chances from opposing teams as we see the WOW Warriors. Wings and $5 pitchers in hand.
really even think there's anywhere else quite like the Wow Cafe in any other college rink where you can sit above the benches and truly be a part of the action of the game.
My favorite games to commentate on Adrian College television are your team's ACHA men's Division II games, because your teammate Dominic Malone's father will, every broadcast I do, he will bring a bunch of wings up for the crew.
Does he really?
As a thank you gift. It's amazing.
I will have to shout that out.
I have shouted him out on air numerous times for it, and just an amazing man, Mr. Malone, helping us out, fueling us up for the broadcasts. And I will tell you, if you're thinking about coming to an Adrian hockey game and you want to try out the Wow Cafe, the wings are top notch.
They're very good.
It's great stuff. And not just the wings, anything you order on the menu. I've not had a bad experience with everything that I have ordered.
My dinner tonight, by the way, was a JBR chicken sandwich with a side of fries. Have to tell you, top notch. Easy, good meal to break things down after the women's NCAA game in between the stoppage for this one.
Yeah, I did see you snacking on the job out of the corner of my eye. Keep those greasy hands away from the production crate, Alex.
Yes.
Don't want to break any of the equipment.
Oh, don't worry. I made sure to
Hopefully
use a
you
napkin.
washed your hands.
Yes,
yeah.
I did. We continue on, 7:10 left to go in the third period as Mott picks up in between his own blue and a scary takeaway, and the Seawolves are offsides.
Wow, that was another close one. I think on the far side, Philip Pomianek was trying to clear the offensive zone and was just a hair behind the blue line. Got to call Toronto for that one. See, if they had allowed the play to go through, I think Coach Estalos probably could have used his coach's challenge on that one.
I would love to see if we could figure out a way to budget one of those cameras that you can put on the blue lines like you see in the professional leagues. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, not necessarily even for review, just for the viewers at home to be able to see it.
I agree.
And for us as broadcasters, it's always helpful.
Here's a 3-on-2 for Stony Brook. Malik had his backhand broken up.
At least on those reviews, offsides is cut and dry. Like, you know exactly what it is. Goaltender interference, I have no idea what those two words mean anymore.
Yes.
It's just open to interpretation, whoever's refereeing the game that night.
Pretty much.
And it's not really their fault. The rule book isn't clear.
A scary swipe and a misplay. And the 14th of the night, 4th goal for Connor Smith.
Now, taking another look at this replay, the puck caromed up high in the air. Aggressive approach from the Stony Brook goaltender, Sullivan. And then Smith was given a wide open net as Sullivan kind of took a swing and a miss, using a lot of baseball terms here tonight, but trying to whack it away with the paddle and didn't quite pan out for him.
Saw a similar goal scored the other night on Carolina Hurricanes goaltender Frederick Anderson. I don't know if you saw that. Went to swipe at the puck midair and unfortunately fanned on it. And a similar result there for goaltender Thomas Sullivan. Has done the best that he could up till this point.
Yeah, you know what? I can't wait for a goaltender to execute that move well. I'm sure it'll be amazing, but so far I don't know if that's a very high percentage play. It hasn't been proven to work that well.
A turnover. Spate finds Smith once again. And it's the other Smith brother this time around.
Ooh.
Sebastian Smith, he'll light the lamp. 16-0 Bulldogs.
Sullivan went out of his goal to play it. That was a nifty pass from Spate. Smith tucked it home. And my goodness, Sebastian Smith, great night for the Smith family, as it so often is when both those guys take the ice, Sebastian and Connor.
This is just getting, I don't even know how to describe it at this point. This is really quite a shocker of a game. I came in like you did, Calvin, really expecting things to be quite even.
Yep.
1 to 2 goal hockey game. Either way, really, because of the talent level.
Yeah, and going back to what I mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, this is a Stony Brook team that swept Adrian at this very rink last season, won back-to-back games. So maybe that's part of the reason we're seeing this dominance, is Adrian just really came into this game with a point to prove. They had won the last 6 meetings before those 2 games last season, the Bulldogs, but think they're starting a new winning streak here tonight in a big way. Goodness.
Nice hit there, and we're going to get a whistle on the play. Clemens going to be taken to the box. Officials did not like the way that he made contact. We'll see it here on the replay.
Yeah, Clemens trying to play a physical brand of hockey, but I would also just say from the Bulldogs' perspective, I don't know. I just try to think of the game from your opponent's perspective and how they feel being down by 15. It's not fun. Certainly, yeah, don't want to be respectful here and be classy down the stretch, I guess I'll just say. And just in general, as you know, and my high school hockey team wasn't the greatest. We were on the losing end of a lot of games like this, and I definitely feel for these Seawolf players. It's not a fun occasion, but I give them props for continuing to play hard hockey. It's not been their night. They've committed a lot of turnovers and overall just had a lot of bad bounces, but I think in general you look at guys like Thomas Sullivan, who's still standing between the pipes and facing every shot with real courage and pride, and the rest of these guys and the way they've continued to battle throughout the night, I tip my hat to them.
I think really every hockey player can attest to this. At least once in their hockey careers, they've been on the receiving end of a game like this where things aren't exactly too fun and you're really not finding any bounces going your way, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So I agree with you. You do have to show some respect to the Stony Brook Seawolves here. They're doing their best to try and establish themselves even though it's late in the game. And I'm sure with a little bit of rest and some more energy tomorrow, they'll fire out of the zone with some more life, looking to change the result from this evening. So 3:30 left to go in the third and final regulation period. 15-0 is the score in favor of Adrian. For those of you just tuning in now.
And again, our wonderful director, Dakota Schneider, directing his first ever hockey game with us for Adrian College Television, doing a phenomenal job. He looked it up for me. ACHA men's D1 record for goals in a game, 24. So I doubt we're going to get to that number. But you never know.
Do we know who it was against?
We were trying to figure that out, but again, he's running the stream and trying to keep track of the score clock and the multitude of penalties we've seen, so weren't able to get that information. But the record is 24, we're being told.
That'll be some late night research for after the post game, and we'll come back with the answer for that tomorrow.
Speaking of late night research, do you want to hear the Bulldog mascot origin story?
I do want to hear the Bulldog origin story. Before
we go off the air tonight. All right. We'll wait for play to settle down a bit. See if we get another whistle. Up, delayed penalty, and, you know.
Yeah, Dakota Bond's going to go to the box here. Sent a punch.
Oh, goodness. Another shot given.
Here we go.
Bond tangled up with Kormanek. They'll finally be separated before things get ugly. They'll both go to the box. In the meantime, whereas Stony Brook has had numerous different mascots throughout their history, Adrian has been exclusively the Bulldogs. It's been their official mascot for 97 years. It was introduced in 1926. And the first live Bulldog they ever had was in 1986. It was named TC. They voted. TC was the winning bid. They switched to the name Bruiser in 2010. We've got Bruiser the second now, after the original Bruiser passed peacefully a few years back in 2018. And TC, by the way, the old name for the Bulldogs, stood for the champion, which is fitting considering our ACHA men's D1 game, or D1 team rather, has won national titles in 2018 and 2021, and our NCAA team has won a national championship in 2022 as two new teams head to the box. The only exception to the Bulldog mascot that Adrian has known for so very long was the 1905 Adrian baseball team, whose players surrounded a live cow in their team picture. That's all the information. I couldn't find anything more else about the cow.
Please tell me there's a picture floating around that you found of that.
I want to know the backstory. There is, in fact, a picture that you can find on the internet of the 1905 Adrian baseball team circled around a cow for their team photo.
What were people doing back in 1905 to think to themselves that they wanted a cow as their mascot and put it in their team picture? That's the most Adrian College Bulldog thing I've ever heard. That's incredible.
Whenever I'm preparing for these broadcasts, Alex, I think in my head, what do the viewers at home want to know? Like,
this is what they want to know.
This is, I think
this
about,
is the stuff.
Not only that, I think about what would I want to know if I was listening to the broadcast. And now you guys know, 1905 Adrian baseball team, the only Adrian sports team to not have a bulldog as its mascot.
There you go.
They had a live cow as their mascot. I don't know the backstory. I really wish I did, but I don't think there's any players still alive from that 1905 team of whom I could inquire to.
DeContier bobbled that shot off of his shoulder, but was able to hold on. Only his 13th stop this evening. This is pushed up top. Now to the wide side. McDermott, a blocker save, loose, and it's kept out. Mott was able to clear the crease. Nice pass. Moved up, a long shot. Waffle save, kept out by Sullivan. Here's Lindecker, feigning on the shot in the slot.
Got 40 seconds of 4-on-4 to close out most of the remainder of this game. And a reminder, we'll be back again 1 p.m. tomorrow for the rematch of this one. I have to get the feeling it'll be a closer affair than this.
I would put my bet on that too. But both these teams full of surprises, as we're seeing here tonight. Clement trying to dance through. Breaks free for a second. Maybe a potential thought about the Michigan there. Looked like he'd thought about setting it up, but he didn't.
Now, Alex, I'm not a betting man, but I know that the WoW Warriors Twitter account, who we were talking about earlier, jokingly will post the betting odds for the different goal scorers and the overall goals margin in this game. I hope that if you did bet on this one, that you smashed the over.
Yes.
Could be a big payday.
Time winding down here in the waning seconds of the contest at Arrington Ice Arena. One last chance as this was sent on. And DeContier with the hold. And he'll play it to the corner as time expires and the Bulldogs shut out the Stony Brook Seawolves 15-0. Noah DeContier with a 14-save shutout.
The wait is over. We can finally say it. DeContier with the shutout.
That we can.
Only had to make 14 stops to do it, but that was a scary moment with about 1:30 left when that puck bounced across the crease area. But again, DeContier standing tall, the native of Calgary, Alberta, the sophomore, with another big night for Adrian, and he gets his 15th win of the season in 18 appearances.
No handshake for tonight. We'll see it tomorrow after the second game, as we mentioned, live on ACTV at 1 o'clock. An all-around fantastic performance, if you ask me, Calvin, from this Adrian squad. They came out of the gate absolutely flying. They opened up the scoring with under a minute in the first period as we started things out extremely quickly. And a salute to the crowd and the WoW Warriors upstairs in the WoW Cafe. You have to tip your hats to the Bulldog squad tonight.
Absolutely. We've had everything tonight. We've had goals galore, penalties galore, even had a live cow show up. So we really had it all. It was a fun broadcast, even though the score was a bit lopsided. Great being with you as always, Alex. Thanks to our whole crew for bringing this one. And all I will say to preview tomorrow's game, where we'll swap roles and I'll do play-by-play, you'll do color, is that, you know, Adrian really had some motivation going into this one due to their past defeats against this Stony Brook team. I think Stony Brook will have a significant chip, not just a chip, maybe an entire boulder on their shoulder for tomorrow's game. They'll be ready.
Be very interested to see what transpires tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. It's game number 2 of this weekend series between the Stony Brook University Seawolves and your Adrian College Bulldogs. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alex Herman, joined alongside, as always, by Calvin Keys. Thank you for tuning in tonight on ACTV, and we bid you a good night and hope you're well wherever you are.
On Tuesday, April 6, 2021, I was sitting in my office and an email popped into my inbox from someone in your graduating class today. The email said, "Dear President Docking, back in August I had emailed you in regards to the state of the well-being of the campus community during the COVID spike. At that time, I was incredibly anxious about the prospect of spending my senior year of college sitting at my kitchen table in my hometown trying to finish my seminar projects in the event we switched to all online learning. As I type this email now in April, I cannot describe to you the gratitude that my fellow students and I have for Adrian remaining open on campus for the duration of the school year. I wanted to take the time to thank the Adrian College community, the faculty, the staff, for allowing us to have as normal of a year as possible in a world that simply did not want that to happen. I look forward to walking across the stage in May knowing that I was still able to enjoy time with my friends and the Bulldog community during my senior year. All the best, Max Birmingham, class of 2021. Max, you've got to stand up so we can give you a round of applause. For those of us on this stage, today is one of the most exciting days of the year. We love to see the wonder and anticipation in the eyes of our new students, as all of you anxiously await all of the amazing experiences that will define the years ahead.